Hi, a recap of today. Today is my second Friday here in Liberia, and I had gone to the hospital and learned so much. Today was kind of emotional, and I forgot how it felt until I was in the presence of an emotional state. Um, So at one of the hospitals here, there's a waiting area. There's benches outside, and folks will wait there. I don't know if they're waiting to be seen or they're waiting for family members inside, but there's always someone waiting, and normally women are the ones who are waiting there. Um, but I was at a meeting, and the window is adjacent to that waiting area, and you just hear someone wail so loud, crying and very emotional. And I just thought something, I didn't think what had happened had happened. And someone just mentioned, oh, someone just passed away. Like, Doug, come on, we're at a hospital. And unfortunately, that stuff happens. But I forgot how expressive and emotional. I mean, it's always emotional to lose someone. And it's not an easy thing at all for anyone. But when I heard the screaming, I just got chills all over my body. And it just hit a spot. Like, it's, you think about how difficult it is for them to get there, how much it, like, the stuff that they have to even care for these patients, and the resources and the finance and all that stuff. And it just feels more heartbreaking. And you hear stuff in the hallways, just people yelling and crying. And then I learned about the death on arrival. This was new to me. So when I first got there the first day, there was a pickup truck with a body laying in the back with two people sitting. So two people sitting and one body laying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope nothing bad happens, and I hope they get help and all that stuff. But as I got off of my taxi, the truck left. So the body wasn't there. And I just thought, like, maybe the hospital turned them down, maybe they couldn't afford it or something. It was just really, really sad. And I didn't know what to really think, actually. That's not my thought. Take that back. That is not my thought. I heard that from the taxi person, and I was like, oh, that's what happened. That sucks. Yeah. But today, I don't know if this was a situation for that case, but today I was told that people who need a death certificate, let's say someone passes away and they have like a house under their name, or the family member needs to take over because their so and so has deceased, and they need a proof that that person had deceased. They actually have to carry the body, meaning transport the body to the hospital, and the hospital has to declare them dead and write them a death certificate. So they don't go to a morgue. I don't think there's such thing. It's just the once they pass, the body either goes to the funeral home, which is probably the morgue, and or no, not and or, just or they're buried at the home. But they still need a permit for that, and the permit requires a death certificate. And so there's like a bill of things for people to do. So you have to register the patient, although they're dead. You have to register the patient. So death on arrival, which they're not really, they arrive to the hospital already deceased. So they didn't die on arrival. It's kind of weird. So register and then the death certificate, and then they have a choice of purchasing a body bag and some other things, and it costs about $100. But then they can choose like to omit some of the things, so they can say, I don't want to have a body bag, I just need a death certificate, and then they write the death certificate, and the doctor actually declares them deceased after they check like their eyes, their heart rate, any blood pressure, any, you know, rising of the chest, and blah blah blah. So they actually, you know, kind of go through the process to make sure that the patient is actually deceased. What else? So I thought that was interesting that they do that, and that's just something that I had to think about and process, especially like hearing the ladies cry. And you know, it's just a very emotional state in any moment that anyone passes away, especially to their loved ones, and just processing it at the moment, but witnessing it, it's very heartbreaking. And yeah, that's what I learned today about the death process. So hope everyone is enjoying their Friday. It rained a lot today. I got to see the Atlantic Ocean, and across from the Atlantic Ocean is probably New York or something on the other side. Statue of Liberty, just right across from Liberia. I didn't even think about that. I like to think like, you know, hey, I'm standing here, and somewhere yonder where I'm standing is New York, right across the Atlantic Ocean. I thought that was cool. But yeah, a lot of rain, lost current. That's how they say it here. Lost current, no light. So there was no electricity for a very, very long time. But I got home and there's electricity. But my sink in the kitchen doesn't have water. So there's a tank of water up in the on the roof, and there's a pump that comes down, and I thought that the pump for the kitchen and the bathroom is the same thing. So I'm trying to finish my dishes because I couldn't do it this morning, because I thought because the power was out, the water was out too. But now that the power's on, the water should come back on, and the water's not back on. So they're checking in on that. But the bathroom does have water. So my suggestion is, when you have current, don't wait to say, oh, I'll take a shower later. Nah, take a shower right away. When you think about it, just go take a shower, because you never know when the light is gonna go out. Yeah. And another thing is, normally I try to remember, and if I don't, I try to like go get it. I take a flashlight into the bathroom, and even though there's light, I turn on the flashlight and keep it on facing the mirror, because the lights can go off anytime, and it's dark in there, without light, because there's only one little window. And so I just make sure there's a flashlight on, just in case the light turns off. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for now. Doodles.